Welcome back to From My Standpoint. I'm Madison. This is Matthew.
Today we are going to be. We're getting to the end of the year. We're making our lists. This is list week. List like probably a couple weeks.
There's a pause button on your thing.
Oh, we got the update.
You got the update? That's bad.
Oh, okay.
It means people can like see like weird things about like.
Whatever.
Anyways.
Today we're going to be doing our top 10 albums of the year.
This was quite the year for albums. Like every single artist was dropping this year.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like the Hunger Games to get onto these lists. Literally,
yes.
It was savage.
We have a few rules that we discussed the other. A few rules that we discussed the other day. If there's like a deluxe, if there's like multiple versions of the album, you're only allowed to have one version of the album. You have to like state the version of the album that you want to put in. So, if, for example, if I like the Brat remix album more than the original Brat, and I want to include that, I'd have to say the Brat remix album specifically. For example, only 10 albums, obviously. You want to start off with your number 10? I think we're going back and forth.
Number 10's first.
Yeah, we never start off at number 1, Madison.
Okay, that's true. Okay, number 10 I have Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator, and my favorite song on this album. I actually have two. We're already starting off and I already have not one favorite.
Oh
Sticky and Like Him.
Okay.
Are my two favorites. I don't know what else to say about the album. It was a great album. It was very entertaining, I think. Sticky, I really liked because I was just so surprised through my first listen by how many artists were on it. And it's the one I like to go back to. It's fun, it's upbeat, and it's catchy. Like Him is just beautiful. Lola's voice in the background is stunning. Great message, great lyricism in that song. So, those are my favorites on the album.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 10.
We reacted to any albums that are on our list. I'll probably put the links to in the comments.
So
or maybe the description.
Make sure you go check out Katy Perry's because we're really good at it. Because we already know that on both of our lists.
Of course. My number 10 is an album that we didn't react to though. It's Prelude to Ecstasy by The Last Dinner Party. My favorite debut album of the year, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. I just had to think. I love the songwriting on this album. Love like kind of the pop rock blends on it. My favorite song is On Your Side. I won't spoil it, but my favorite songs on this album are the singles that came out last year. So you'll have to see if this actually ends up on my 2024 top songs list. But yeah, just super like surprising. Like they seem like they should be like 5 years into the career making this album. They seem like so like confident.
It wasn't giving like debut vibes.
Yeah, it seems like they know what they're doing. So
I listened to this album, but it was a long time ago, and I don't remember anything about it.
Okay. Well, let's see what Madison's number 9 is.
Someone just fell and died. Okay. Number 9 for me is G and X by Kendrick Lamar. My favorite is Whacked Out Murals. I love this song. I listened to the whole album, less than a week ago?
Yeah. And
the only song I've replayed is Whacked Out Murals, but I think I've played it more than any other song recently. I love that Kendrick is mad, and he had something to say, and he had something to say in that song. The whole album's good. It says it 8 on her little tracks. Great album. I don't have much to say again. I've only heard it one time, but I know that I'll like it a lot if I listen to it more.
Yeah, this is subject to change because like she literally listened to this like
just listened to it. It barely got into this year. Mm-hmm. Just barely fit.
So my number 9 is Charm by Clairo. Super complete album. I wasn't when I initially heard this album, I wasn't like, this is probably not going to make my list, but I just kept on listening to it. It's such like a re-listenable album. I can literally just like put this on anytime. There's nothing like truly like incredible with this album. There are a few amazing songs I love. My favorite song is Juna. Blew up on TikTok. I think it went number 1 on TikTok, right? In the TikTok charts.
Yeah, it was up there. You know me.
Mm-hmm. Super good, like kind of 70s throwback vibes on that song. I love it. So yeah.
Good album.
One of my favorite produced albums of the years as well, especially.
She had a little jazz vibe going on. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 is Kansas Anymore by Role Model. Have you listened to the album?
No, I haven't.
He opened for Gracie Abrams for her recent tour, and so I got into his music more. And he did Emma Chamberlain. You know her?
Okay.
They dated for a while, and this whole album is about them, and I heard it in their breakup. My favorite song on this album is Something, Somehow, Someday. Super cute song. It's the last track on the album. It's very sweet, and it's like he wrote that as they're going through hard times and throughout their breakup, and the song is just like someday he thinks they'll be something. Great album. It's very you can tell he put his heart into it. fun songs, there's sad songs, and it all this encompasses her, I think, really well too. Because he writes so well about her. Like there's no shade thrown to her, like how most like public breakups are. He speaks of her so well, and it's so sweet. And the album it's like folky kind of country, maybe a little bit. I like the album a lot.
Okay. My number 8 is an album that we both know a little bit better, at least you. It's "Hit Me Hard and Soft" by Billie Eilish.
It's crazy.
Earlier in the year it was like a little lower for me. It grew on me like a little bit, like over the past few months. Super cool production from Billie. This has become my favorite Billie. Super cool production from Billie. I think her best vocal performances appear on this album. I think this is her most mature album. I think it does start off a little bit down the stretch. The last 3 songs are the only 3 songs I don't really like. I wouldn't say I love on the album. Maybe Blue's great. Blue's great.
Great.
But especially like the middle stretch is all just fire, like right after another. And this album is one of the few on this year that feels like a movie. This album's like cinematic kind of. Favorite song is "L'amour de ma vie" on this album. So
a classic, already a classic, and it just came out.
Number 7 for you.
Number 7 for me is for Crying Out Loud by Phineas.
Okay.
Like his album a lot. I went back to a lot of songs, but most efficiently, I remember the Starfucker a lot. Loved that song. I like his vocals a lot on that song in particular, but the whole album. Well produced, lots of good lyricism. Not much to say about the album. I think it was very mature in the standpoint of like he's growing up and he's has a different outlook on life than like some of his earlier music, and you can tell it through the songs. And they're all really good. I appreciate them, and I feel like he's so underrated too. It's because he's like Billie Eilish's brother, but he's Phineas. He's Phineas. Give him a name. He's a king, and he eats.
He can write a really good tune.
Yes, and his production goes crazy too. He produces all of Billie's music, and he eats them. He got producer of the year at the Grammys like what 2 years ago? Yeah. He eats.
My number 7, Madison had it on her list earlier. It's "Chromacopia" by Tyler, the Creator. One of my favorite rap albums of the year. Complete all the way through, like every song on this. It's probably, I think it's my second favorite Tyler album behind Igor. I've kind of had that race where I love Igor, and he hasn't really had that second album that I really love. I love Chromacopia this year though. Super cool like production vibe. I love like the kind of like the aesthetic of this album. Favorite song I think is also "Like Him."
So good.
I think that's his most like personal song.
And him like when he sang it, what was he, Stagecoach or something? He was somewhere. He was on that stage, and he was like really getting into it. It made me like his song even more because his emotion is amazing.
Such a stunning performance from Tyler there.
Yes,
that's my number 7.
You sound like you're like on the sports game. Such a stunning throw pass by Baker.
Like a what?
I made up someone's name. Maker. I don't know who that is. By Baker Mayfield.
Number 6.
I combine his names. Number 6 for me is "Eternal Sunshine" by Ariana Grande.
Okay.
This one was fighting. 4, 5, and 6 were all really close running. So it's all kind of like who like currently feel like deserves these positions. And for me, I put "Eternal Sunshine" on number 6 because there are some tracks I just don't listen to. Like I don't love some of the songs. I don't love like "Yes and." I don't love like I Wish I Hated You or something like that. But I love some songs. Like I love Bye. I love "The Boy Is Mine." I love "True Story." I like "We Can't Be Friends." I know you don't, but I do. There's some great, and even "Intro Into the World" is really, really good. She has great lyricism. I feel like the vibe of this album is really her growing and like maturing, but also like going through a hard time. She shows that beautifully, and I think she did a great job. And this, while she was also going through all her wicked stuff, like she was eating. So
I think it's a pretty good album.
Yeah,
not my favorite Ariana, but I think it's pretty good. My number 6 is a little more underground. But some of y'all might know him. It's JPEG Mafia, "I Lay Down My Life For You." Probably the craziest album this year. Probably like the harshest on the ears. The sampling on this album is ridiculous. He will sample the weirdest stuff. He sampled like, for example, one of the songs he samples a Future song, but it's an AI like 70s cover version that someone made on YouTube that has like 17,000 views. He sampled that and put it into a song, and it's beautiful. I think that's honestly I think it's "New Black History" with Vince Staples is my favorite song. That's another such like a bouncy, fun song, but it's a super weird album. Should probably that's a good shout out for me, I guess. It gives like also some like rock vibes in the first half, but also kind of switches like jazz in the second half. It's pretty cool, very versatile. So
interesting. I think I know what number 5 is. Okay, number 5 is Brat. Extended. I'll do extended version because there are lots of songs on like the remix album that I don't particularly like, but there's some that are so good that I have to include it because like Sympathy's a Knife, Ariana Grande. We've got Girl So Confusing with Lord, Guess, Billie Eilish. I mean, then you get to Caroline Polachek. Like, there's so many good remixes of those songs. I have to include that. Favorite song is Sympathy's Knife, basic version. But, I mean, we could really teeter with the Lord. I mean, Lord, Billie Eilish, like, come on. Like, kill me now, please. So good. Brat, I was so against for so long. Like, it took so much convincing to get me to listen to the album. And then I did. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say it yet, but this kind of eats. And then I listened to it on my own more and more. And then we went to the concert. That really got me into it. And now she's full Brat. She's full Brat.
She's Brat pilled.
She's Brat, yes.
You took the green pill.
I did. And now I'm transformed. And I see a green car and I say Brat. You know? It's truly a lifestyle and love the album. I turn it on to this day in the car at night. Just for vibes anytime. Great album. Love it.
So good.
So good.
My number 5 is... Wait, what is my number 5? My number 5 is Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. When it came out, it was my album of the year. Still love it. It's very lengthy. I still remember literally like every song. I remember like how I reacted to it like the first night because I was laying in my bed at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I was like, it feels like there's always this there's only like one movie that's like huge but it's also amazing. That's what this album feels like to me.
Like Interstellar.
Yeah, or for me, like Across the Spider-Verse last year was like a big movie that was also amazing. This is what that feels like. So people say it's country and they don't like it for that reason, but it's so much more than just a country album. It's so versatile. Beyonce does so many different things in this album. Favorite song, Two Hands to Heaven. That's kind of like, it's on the later album. It's kind of like looking back on everything you listen to, like the over 20 songs. It kind of gives that.
And it gives you some closure at the end.
It's the longest song
I like a closure at the end of a long album like that.
So, amazing album from Beyonce. We're number 4.
Number 4, I have Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. This album, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, it's a vibe. And then I listened to it every single day for the rest of my life. And it's so fun. It's like, if I'm like upset, I turn on Short and Sweet and I'm bopping like, oh,
yes,
5 feet to be exact. I'm 5'8", but you know, when that song's on, I'm 5 foot. So it's the vibes. My favorite song is Dumb and Poetic because I'm an angry girl and I like my songs that have some anger in them. And that song, she's mad because she's just upset. Jack off to lyrics by Leonard Cohen. Like, how dare you? You know, she's pissed and I love it. I love the anger in her voice. I love the raw emotion. But the whole album is just so good. Like, the vibes are they're there. And the tour, the vibes are there. The tour made the album better too. Because it's so girly and fun and I just love it.
I also really like that album. I was kind of Sabrina pilled this year. Before this year, if you told me that I would like this, I would like a Sabrina album, I'd be like. But the singles started converting me. I was like, I might actually like this, and I was like, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. My number 4 is a bit more underground. It's Scrapyard by Quadeca. A lot of my favorite songs of the year on this. He started dropping these little like a couple songs. You call it Scrapyard 1, Scrapyard 2, Scrapyard 3. It was like a few songs at a time. And I was like, okay, but these are fire. I was like, because I remember listening to him at 20.
Scrapyard number 68 is really easy.
In 2022, he dropped the album that I love, but I didn't really listen to him since then. Those kind of got me back into him, and by the time for his album, I was like, okay, this is hype. It's so versatile. It's a mixtape, but I'm still counting it. It's so versatile. It's like one time he'll get like a fire rap super energy song where he's pissed off, and the next time he'll get like a very like washed out love song where he's like weird singing and stuff. But this is super easy to listen to. My favorite song on this is God Dog, one of my favorite written songs.
Oh, you sent me that one. Love it.
Top 3 time.
Oh, top 3, baby. Number 3, we've got The Secret of Us Deluxe by Gracie frickin' Abrams. This girl has had her year. She's eating. She's on SNL. She's touring. She's cooking. And this album was not the end of the cooking session. She ate down with this album. At first, I was like, okay, it's good, but like, where's where's the fire? And then I listened to it like 10 more times, and I was like, okay, I see you. Because sometimes you have to digest an album, and this album I had to digest. And after a few digesting like sessions, my favorites are, I have multiple favorites. I'm sorry, again, I have.
We'll do top 3 for the top.
I know, because there are 3 for this one. We've got I Knew It, I Know You. This is my first favorite one on there. It's so good. It's just like, it's sad, and it makes you feel like, oh, like a loss of a friend or something, and it's great. Great lyrics there. Then we have Blowing Smoke. We have some anger in this one. As you can tell, I like some raw emotion. We got it there. And then we have I Told You Things. The bridge on that song carries everything in life, because like the first half is like, okay, like what are we doing? Like, come on, Queen. It's good, but like we need some pickup. And then you have the bridge, and you're levitating into the sky. So that's that, and I just love Gracie Abrams. I'm a little upset that she's going through her like TikTok vacation right now. How she has like 2 songs that are popular, and those are like the worst ones of the album, in my opinion. She's getting her TikTok-ified. So, and I'm an OG fan. I've been here for 3 years, so get in line, please.
She's been waiting.
I have been a fan since before she had any albums out. When her hair was long. Before she was on the air tour. Before she was even with Olivia Rodrigo and the freaking Sour Tour. So please get behind me, because I'm first.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
My number 3. I bet you knew what my top 2 would be. You probably didn't know coming into this what my top 3 would be. What my number 3 would be. But GNX by Kendrick Lamar is taking the cake. Like a month. I think this is actually a month exactly after it came out. Did it come out November 23rd?
It just came out.
Well, you didn't listen to it. But best rap album of the year. I think this is also like almost like a near perfect album from Kendrick. Another close to another 10 for him for me. This is like the most fun Kendrick album to listen to, in my opinion. I just find myself replaying this like pretty much every day. I look back at my listening history. Pretty much every day I'm putting on a song or 2 from GNX.
Yeah.
There's so many songs where he's in his fun, high energy, just like making funny, like bing bop boom boom, like he's doing random stuff with his voice and stuff. But it's also super deep lyrical songs. Yeah. You can really find any vibe from Kendrick. I love the West Coast I took on this. Top 3 is Reincarnated. Another super dense lyrical song, showing why Kendrick is my favorite songwriter of the year. I'll get more into the meaning of this on my list. Peekaboo, which is like maybe the most silly, goofy energy song Kendrick's ever been on. Fire feature from AZ Chike. And then Gloria with SZA, which is my favorite SZA feature ever. And I love the comparisons he uses in this song, and it's beautiful. So
I love just like his voice too. Like his voice itself, like I feel like makes some of the songs.
Yes,
he does such fun things.
No one can replicate it.
No one. If you try, you suck. Okay, number 2. This is the top 2. It's pretty close. Actually, no, it's not. Number 2 is The Torture Postpartment by Taylor freaking Swift.
Which version?
The anthology.
Okay.
Because I feel like so many of the best tracks, she cooks this one. There are some songs I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? And then there are some songs I'm like, oh my god, so you killed me and you buried me alive. Like Peter, Chloe or Samos Fear Marcus, so good. I have 3 favorites. Oh, we can say 3. We've got, I'm not gonna list, like, do 1, 2, 3, because I don't want to like get up off my top 50 yet either.
Okay.
But we have Loss of My Life is in there. That's off the original version. And we have Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, which is on the anthology, and we have Cassandra on the anthology. I love, this is like I think her most introspective and personal album. She's giving everything to the listeners. Like she's like you're like inside her mind when she's going through this huge breakup of this, like her boyfriend of almost 7 years, and then rebounding with the guy who she had like off and on relationship with for 10 years. And so then she breaks up with him, and it's like, what is going on? And she's got Travis. They're going to the big game. Like, one step closer, it comes to be my last name. Like, okay. It's so much going on, but I think it works really well. Some great lyricism in this album. We got some good features going on, and it eats. And it's long, but I love it. And there's nothing beats that night when it came out, staying up till 2 a.m. We all knew something was happening, and going to Spotify and seeing 15 new tracks. I almost died. And then you say thank you, Amy, and then K-I-M is capitalized, and I almost blew up the house. I was like, oh my, I freaked out. Like, no one just name dropped Kim on her track list. It was just, the whole experience was crazy. Anyways, sorry, I had to rant for a second, because that was a crazy night. Last night was a movie.
My number 2 might be a surprise to some of y'all because I've ranted about this album. I've run this short in like half our videos. We've made like 5 videos about this album, but it's Brat by Charlie XCX. Endlessly replayable. First off, I like the 15 song on this album became my 15 most played songs like a week and a half after they dropped. I'm not joking. The top 5 songs on my Spotify Wrapped were all the songs from this album. It's so versatile. There's so many personal songs, but there's so many songs that literally don't care about what the lyrics are, like back to back. Dude, like you can care less what that song is saying.
Back to back to back to back to back to back.
She's sort of the club song, so she did the club sound so well with some bangers, but she also went back to some of her roots with the experimental kind of like, how do I say the industrial kind of sound on some songs like "Sympathy Is a Knife." I love the beat on that song, especially. But I also think, kind of reflecting on it with the remix album, I like the original version more, but the remix album kind of reflecting on her fame, some of the things she did there were super as well. This is the first album she really took with no features, the bass album, and I think the way that she can have no features on her album and still occupy me for over 40 minutes and not get bored for a single second, still wanting more, is like super impressive. It's the most impressive album of her career. I'm happy that I got into Charlie before this came out. I got into Charlie January.
He's an OG like that.
So yeah, number 2, Brat by Charlie XCX for me. I promise I'll justify this with my number 1.
Matthew here, just in the editing, saying I forgot to put my favorite 3 songs. They are club classics, Everything Is Romantic, and So I.
Remember how like both of our girls like got their like TikTok moment and now they're huge. Like Gracie and Charlie both popped off and we were the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number freaking 1.
Get out of here.
Oh, she's sad. Let her stay. Close the door.
Okay.
Number 1, Cowboy Carter. I'm kidding, obviously.
Close the door.
It's Hit Me Hard and Soft, Billie Eilish. I don't know what she's doing.
Hold on, can you actually close the door?
No, it's fine. It's Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. Obviously. Freaking obviously. This album, first listen, I was sitting on my desk and I was like, oh my god. Because every song, so good. We got emotion, we've got production, we've got lyrics, we got vocals, we have storytelling. We got closing doors. It's so good. Every song just brings so much. Can you open up the door? Every song just brings so much different things to the table, and they're all such vibes. And like, oh my god, I don't know how to talk about this album. It's so good.
Was this your album the year when it came out?
Yes.
Okay.
The second I heard it, I was like, I didn't want it to like surpass Torture Poets, but like it did. And I feel like when you listen to it, you can like hear how much time and effort went into this album. It was crafted like a newborn baby.
Yes.
Like they packaged this so beautifully, and everything about it. Like I have nothing bad to say about it. 10 out of 10. I don't have any notes. Every song is 10 out of 10 for me, and they're all so good. And like I'll listen to the album, and like, oh, this song is. I forgot how good this song is. Or this song, and there's only 10. It's not like too lengthy. She ate. And my favorite songs are L'Amour's I can't say that, I forgot. We have Wildflower and The Diner on my top 3. The Greatest was my first favorite, but then I overplayed it too much, so then I had to weed off of that recently. But so good. Any 3 songs could be my favorites because they're all so great. And they'd be valid. If I met someone and they can say any song on the album is their favorite, valid. Because every song is a favorite. Okay.
My number 1 of this year is not the most popular duo, but they get their rounds from people that are tapped into music. Everyone loves them that I've at least seen. Magdalena Bay, Imaginal Disc. Trying to justify this, y'all, I've never really talked about this album on here. But I've said before that To Pimp a Butterfly is like the most impressive like achievement known to man or something like that. I still stand by that. The hard work put in that album is still praised. But this album is better because this is like not just lightning caught in the bottle. This is like the end of the world caught in a bottle here.
God.
With this album. It literally feels like this album was like a gift from God, and he was just like, Magdalena Bay, show this to the world.
What the heck? They need to hear this.
The production on this album is absolutely stunning. I feel like I'm transported into like a different world, especially with the I'm gonna shout out the music videos of this album. They're super weird and cool, and they're like these different like alien-like things. It's like super fun as well. I love Mika's vocals on this album. She's such like a interesting vibe of a vocalist. She contrasts with the production so well. And it's also such an amazing concept of an album. If you look at just the lyrics on this album, the first, you might not know what's going on. But there's a full-on concept of her going through her changes herself and how she realized that she's just the better person. I'll save it for you because you need to listen to this album. But yeah, my top 3 is... let me think of the order they come in.
The TV one.
My top 3 is Image, which is my favorite chorus of the year. So catchy, but also such a kind of weird vibe. They performed this on Jimmy Kimmel, and it made me realize how really weird they are because they do not fit Jimmy Kimmel at all. It was such like a weird thing to see. Vampire in the Corner, that is just like the ultimate hopeless romantic song for me. It's like, I've told you 100 fucking times you're my Valentine. Like, shut up. Like, you're my Valentine.
Oh.
Also a beautiful song, beautiful like kind of explosion at the end. Cry for Me.
Cry for Me.
Such an amazing produced song. I love the vocals on it.
What's that song? I saw it on TV. What's the TV song?
Watching TV.
Oh, yes. Is that one that I listened to?
I play that in the car, but you listen to Cry for Me.
Oh. Alright, guys. That's our top 10. Mm-hmm. Comment down below who you have as your top 10. And who do you relate to more? Whose taste do you like better? We both tamper. I'm glad that I have more than just the pop girls in mind. I feel like people might think that I'm just pop, but I branch. I have layers.
We have 3 common. Billy, Tyler,
and Kendrick. Yeah. That's our big 3.
That's our big 3.
Kendrick not like to hear
if you need to listen to 3 albums this year, listen to
those
3. We both co-sign them.
Yep. And we have very different tastes, and we both like them. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, as always. And stay tuned, because very soon we have our top 50 songs of the year list, and you will want to hear. Peace out.